Hello, folks. Good evening for those of you who are joining us live, and good whatever the time of day it is for you if you're not. Tonight we're doing Babylon 5. Long awaited, long overdue. For the musicians among our faithful, Christopher Franke, who spent many years with Tangerine Dream, composed a phenomenal score and incidental music for this series. Truly magical. We'll be going a little deeper into that a bit, and we'll be talking about the other theme by Stuart Copeland, and we'll be talking some deeper stuff than we normally have access to because we have a guest tonight who'll be co-hosting with us that has some insights to share. I'll leave that until he comes up. Until then, actually, I think I'm going to leave my monologue alone, period. Let's get some other people out here. We will be talking story, folks. One of the greatest sci-fi stories ever told. Really great long story arcs that were interwoven. And anytime they had some unforeseen circumstances, they adapted well. And the story still held firm, man. It was great. So here we go. First, well, ladies first. Why not? So here she is, Sati Liza.
Hello.
How are you?
I have my cortadito. I'm ready to go. I've been waiting for
Now
us to do
remember,
Babylon 5.
I'm the one that introduced you to Babylon 5. And
Yes, you were.
so it was well after the fact.
Well,
But
well after
yeah.
I wasn't into it when when it was airing um the first time. My parents watched the first season. They didn't really latch onto it, but I'm glad that you reintroduced me to the series because oh my god, it's
hmm
good.
People need to give it a bit of a chance.
Yes.
And then after a bit, they see how intricate the story is and how it ties together. And then all those things before just kind of like come back. Uh, yeah. So anyway, let's keep going here. We don't know how much Magic Mike Gorley has seen, but we're going to introduce him anyway because he is a valued member of our crew.
Yes.
Hot off some very good news earlier this week. Welcome, Mike.
Hey, hey, hey. That's so funny because a guy I work with calls me Magic Mike.
Awesome.
Well, you are
So there
magic.
you go.
And I think
Well,
since you
sometimes.
and I think since you mentioned something last week, I think we should keep our audience informed, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
The
I
good
kind of don't
news.
remember what I said, but I think we were waiting on some news. Yes, it would have
Yep.
been after the fact. Monday, I got a call from, well, my wife got a call from the doctor. She has no cancer. And that was
Awesome,
awesome
Mike.
freaking news.
Ooh.
I tell you what, and for anyone who, all the people sending good vibes our way, prayers, however you do it, bark at the moon. Uh, we've tried to keep positive through it all. And by dang, I mean, she mentioned the other night, she said, I feel really blessed. And I got to say, yeah, you couldn't ask for things under the circumstances to go any better. So
So
appreciate
now it's
all the wonderful thoughts and good energy.
yeah. So now it's mostly about healing from surgery and
Yeah, yeah. She got the
yeah,
staples out and she got a really nice scar. but
yeah, which is much harder if you have to do chemo at the same time.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. No. Yeah, we are extremely grateful at this point. So yes.
Well, it is a magic moment, but we are going to introduce our next and our.
And by the way, before you move
Oh,
on,
go ahead.
I had already watched the first episode. I watched the second and third episode this weekend, so
Yeah,
I am on board.
I did initially launch this as episodes 1 through 3, but today, last minute, I said just one because the amount of slides I was trying to say, okay, don't do the slide. No, I have to,
I was
because
wondering.
so much of the story was brought as a foundation in the episode 1. For those of you watching right now, that's
Well,
Midnight
Mike
on
did
the
his
Firing
homework.
Line. And
Well, I watched the first episode probably 3 months ago, but
but
I watched 2 and 3, and I really did like it, so I will continue watching it. I'm very
awesome.
slow. Might take me 2 years. What is there? 5 seasons?
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk to me in a
Yeah.
couple of years, but anyway.
He's a busy man.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of TV, honestly. So, but I do like it, and I will continue to watch it.
Cool beans.
All righty then. Well,
And
for
thank God, Liza finally is getting this.
yes.
So it's a happy moment for her.
Yes, yes, it is. Thank you, Mike.
I've been rooting for you.
I know. I couldn't have done it without you and Scott.
There you go.
Really.
Well, all right, and on to our next special guest.
Yes, our special guest tonight is a Renaissance man, I guess is a good way of saying it. And let's see, I think I could do some sort of intro video here. Let's see, what might work here. How about this?
One rabbit suit coming right up.
Aye.
Look. Jesus Christ! I warned you.
And here is the man who played the rabbit.
Yeah, I couldn't have picked a better intro video myself. That's absolutely perfect, man. I still remember I saw that movie in the theater when it came out, or at least when they released it in the U.S.
Cool.
So,
well, I don't see the names listed on these thumbnails. I don't know. They just sometimes the names pop up. But anyway, folks, this is Istophobos. Those of you who join Mr. Brown for Mr. Brown Alliance will know him very well.
yeah, I'm supposed to be a cuddly little polar bear cub because it's so unlike my grumpy old man personality. So I thought it would help smooth the edges off.
Yeah.
I noticed everyone else was using cute little animals, so I'm like, why not?
Oh, I just have a logo. I don't know. Other than my face. Well, we'll see what happens during the course of the episode. But folks, I don't know. We're starting early for those of you who are used to our 7 p.m. Eastern start in the U.S. And we're starting late for those who hopefully, like to see us after musings on Mr. Brown Alliance. I don't know what happened today. I guess for his 300th episode of musings, he decided to do it earlier or something, but I didn't know.
300th.
We just sat down and just started eating to enjoy Brown's last hour before the stream, and all of a sudden we see him closing down. We're like,
The relaxation time has ended.
Well, yeah, but no, I mean, we just started eating, and it's like we can't. Yeah. So anyway, just so you folks know, but anyway, we're just going to have fun here. It's time to enjoy some Babylon 5. Our problems are small compared to the problems between the Narn and the Centauri. Wow.
Can I just say real quick, Mike?
Yes.
I am so I'm so happy with the good medical news. I've lost so much of my family to the Big C, and I really,
thank you,
really hate it. So I didn't know, but when I heard it, my heart welled up.
Cool.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yes, it's sobering. It's something we think about. Well, I think about on a daily basis now. And now I know how my parents were when I was growing up. And, they're talking about age and
Hmm.
so and so has this, so and so has that. It's like, oh, well, I'm getting into the same subject matter now. And
Well, you
yeah.
just never know. I lost my mom to cancer at 64. So
Gosh.
it,
Mm.
my dad lived to 70, but yeah, you just never know what's going to happen. And if all goes well, I'll be 65 in December. So,
Yay,
Hmm.
Mike.
I believe it'll all go well because fear not, it's time to be young again.
you know,
Yeah.
I,
Uh,
I noticed this and I said, wow, I guess the more I hang out with Lawrence, the more I look like him,
well,
or vice versa. I don't know which.
well, for those of you who are wondering, yeah, I use AI to generate stuff, and I always just do it on one prompt, get it. It doesn't matter if it looks like the person or the character or whatever I'm using it
usually doesn't.
for,
Yeah.
and
We
usually
did pretty
the
good on
finger
Liza. I
count.
don't know about us.
Well,
Eh,
she has
I
a
wish I
unique
looked like
name.
that. Gosh, man.
She
Oh,
has a
come on.
unique name. So when, AI is searching for Liza Sahido,
We have a
most of the
supermodel
hits it
there.
gets are her, so.
Yeah, it's very hard for me to hide on the internet because there's only one Liza Sahido in the United States and in Spain and probably on the planet. So,
Well, there you go.
yes.
Well, I've seen your videos. The image isn't far off. You say you
Oh,
wished, but
you
That's what I said.
guys are
That's
so
what I said.
nice. You guys are
All right. Well,
thank
there we go. So at least disclaimer. Some objects may not appear as they seem. So anyway, we are going to start with this gentleman. This is a photo I got for J. Michael Straczynski and Ista. I'd say go ahead and tell us about your love for Babylon 5 as well as some of the you know I don't know, some of the special
oh,
stuff, whatever you want to share.
okay. Well, I had sort of two introductions to the show. Because when it premiered, it was sort of a big deal. I read a bunch of the controversy about it and Babylon 5 and stuff, but it premiered on P10 right after Kung Fu The Legend Continues, which was a ridiculous, absurd
Hmm.
show. It was really quite fun to get drunk and watch with your friends,
you.
but it looked sort of ridiculous and a little bit cheap. And, you know, but they did a big advertising push. So back then, the X Files were big. We do watch parties, and there was a briefly lived show called Strange Luck that I loved so much. Fox canceled it. So it came on. I didn't take it seriously. I just sort of had it, halfway, kind of paying attention. I was doing some work. And after a couple episodes, I started to realize there's something more to this. It's sort of grabbing me. And it didn't take long before I was completely engrossed. And I noticed it always gave credit to Harlan Ellison as the conceptual consultant. And as it turned out, a couple years later, around season 3, my work, um, I was chosen to work on a project with a special guest author who came into our company. It was Harlan Ellison, and I got to work
Wow.
really closely. He is he knows what he wants. He knows exactly what he wants, and he's going to get. He wasn't mean about it. He was friendly. He was polite. He would actually hang out and socialize, but he wanted it exactly the way that he saw it in his mind. And I suspect he did a lot more work on this show than just what it sounds like from conceptual consultant.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
according to him, of course he did, but he was sort of prone. He would tell a lot of stories. He loved doing that. He loved books and he loved stories, and he would sit around having coffee and he would just tell some random story about, his life. He was an amazingly interesting person. He was graceful and friendly, and so as it turns out, should I? That doesn't really happen till season 4, should I say? He would talk to me about some of the things, the concepts he was coming up with, like they needed a way to destroy a planet.
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, I'm coming up with a planet killer," and I'm like, "Okay, like why not?" He's like, "No, big guns aren't interesting. I'm trying to come up with a really clever." And he would. I don't want to spoil it. What ended up being on screen, but I got to see sort of how he conceptualized. He'd work back from what he needed, and he was very determined to make it fit with the race, with the civilization, the technology. Like he just didn't throw anything out there. He's like, if I was a race of near omnipotent beings and we sort of did this and had this philosophy, how will we go about doing something like this? And then if we were evil also, by the
Yeah.
way. So
Well,
I got to hear a bunch of, and by that time I was all in on the show, and he wouldn't say anything like as far
right.
as the story. And then I ended up moving out to California about a year later, and he gave me his number when the project was over, and I called him up, and I got to see him out there, and I got to go and go on the set. It was just, I met a lot of, lighting and gaffer grip guys and stuff. I didn't really pal around with any of the stars or anything, but I got to spend a day on the production, and it was just
Ooh.
beautiful and enlightening. And I didn't really want to bother him, but Straczynski was there, and you could tell, man, nobody put as much thought into every single detail about the show.
Right.
Here's the thing. This is a 5-year novel. It was all written out ahead of time. In a
Awesome.
way, you can blame Babylon 5 for some of the crap that we have now, because the imitators aren't up to the task.
No.
They don't have enough material to stretch out a 2-hour movie into, a 12-episode series. And they also have no idea. This show is a perfect balance of long form storytelling and episodic. You could just jump in an episode.
Yeah.
It's very satisfying. You can watch it, but it's also telling a story across the years, and nobody's done it as well as this. I mean, the man had a dream. He executed it. He would call them trap doors. He would write trapdoors in the script in case something unexpected happened. A character left. And he used several of them because, life, fate took unexpected turns. But, and you can see the effects get better and better. And I know Harlan worked a lot on the, how spaceships actually would, fly. Would you even need fighters? Just every detail about the show was extremely well thought out. There's no slop in the world building. And I think I'm talking too much, but I have to tell you, the results speak for themselves.
Yes, they
Yep.
do.
And
Oh
when
my.
everybody says, "Oh, DS9 is the best Star Trek series ever," I'm like, I'm sorry, but it's not even a science fiction. It's a fantasy show with gods and spirits and prophets. Doesn't hold a candle to this.
Well,
We get some haters now.
oh, well, we do like Deep Space Nine as well, but
Ye-
no, there is a big difference. The stories here, like you said, was an even balance between episodic and the long-term story, and it's just something that a lot of people need to give it a chance to grow on them.
Right.
It's but yeah, I mean we don't have any hate for DS9, but yeah, there was
Well,
some
as
stuff
I don't
that
hate
a
it.
was like the
uh,
ending was like, oh
yeah,
boy.
as a hardcore Star Trek fan that does love DS9, I can acknowledge that the story of Babylon 5 was just better. I enjoy both, but one has to admit this story was super coherent and superior. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't hate it. I love Star Trek, and I love Avery Brooks, and I had a lot of fun with the show. But there was some legal stuff and a bunch of contention going on at the time,
Hmm.
Oh
and
no.
a lot of fans felt the need to pick a side, and I picked my side. But I love all things Star Trek. this real Star Trek, which ended, after Enterprise. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
I'm not.
must say that I had to
Yeah.
cut off Enterprise as being real. I couldn't. I can't.
We gave it a good shot,
I
and I
tried.
still
I
kind of like
tried.
it. It's just the amount of good episodes compared to
Oh yeah.
so, and then the ending was just,
Mm.
ugh.
Um,
But
make
I
no
guess
mistake.
it
Oh,
was an
sorry.
emergency ending, I guess. But go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm not a fan of Enterprise, but I acknowledge that it was legitimate Star Trek, and that's the last.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Okay.
see what you're saying. Yes, I
Yeah,
agree with that. Yeah.
yeah. I'm.
Yeah.
To me, yeah, there was basically TOS, TNG, and DS9, and that's about. But
Yeah.
yes, what I'm saying is the Kurtzman era is absolute cronk garbage.
Yeah.
It's so
And
I
insulting.
gave it a shot, but yeah, I dropped out.
hey, swappers. Well, we also want to give a shout out to Archer joining us, Archer Collins joining us. He's also a big fan of Monty Python and medieval instruments.
Swappers has a question, Mister. How does
Yes.
one join the Inga fan club? Asking for a friend.
Well, I'd have to ask her.
Uh,
I'll have to ask her.
she has a website somewhere, Swappers. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
she's still the thing is she's a little slow because she still uses Dragon, that
Dragon, yeah.
software that converts cat speech into text, and that's a
Yeah.
little bit outdated, but it's what she used.
It's
It's
the
how she
Phobos.
wrote.
Inga is our cat.
Oh, okay.
And she makes an
Yeah,
appearance on the show every once in a while. So.
yeah, and she also she's an Egyptologist, and she has some issues though with some of the Egyptian culture and mummifying cats and burying them with their
Yeah.
supposed owners.
Yeah, she doesn't like that.
Yeah.
So.
So anyway, let's move on before we get way off topic.
What's the topic again?
My
Well, look at those computers there, aren't they nice?
they are nice.
I like
Well,
the
Oh.
folks,
shirt, man.
yeah. Well, this is Christopher Franke from. He spent a lot of years in Tangerine Dream, and he's the composer that ended up being the selected composer for the series. And we're going to hear in a bit an alternate score for it, though. And we'll
Okay.
let Ista talk about that a bit. But Christopher Franke is the one that pretty much did the series proper, and he also did a score, I remember, for a movie called The Celestine Prophecy, based on the book. And it wasn't a big movie. It was fairly low budget, not very popular, but kind of endearing in its own way. But the music that he writes, does have that Tangerine Dream sound because he was one of three members at that time. The lineup continually changed, but yeah, and you could just hear it in the sounds that were made for the score, and I don't know, it just made it really magical, in my opinion. And here's a little slide. I had to get it. There's the Celestine Prophecy. Hopefully, all of us will be able to, shall we say, transcend through energy conversion. So here's to that.
Didn't he do all the incidental music also for the show?
Oh
Just
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I think I said that, but maybe I did.
Oh well,
Yeah,
did he
the
use? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
the theme and the incidental music, and I have examples. I have some clips from this first episode that I'll be playing for people to hear. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just asking. Those don't look like Amigas. I was wondering if he used because Foundation Imaging used Amigas for the first.
Well, some show hosts would search for Christopher Franke, and in his studio at the time of Babylon 5, I just searched for Christopher Franke of Tangerine Dream to make sure I got the right Christopher Franke, and I thought this one looked nice and it was HD proportions, so I went with it. So the computers in the background may, I don't know. They could be cardboard cutouts that came with that desk.
Wait, is that a solid state logic desk, or is that going forward in time?
I have no idea what that is. That's just a desk.
No, it's an audio mixer.
Yeah, the
Well,
size of a kitchen table, man. That thing's
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I don't know. It's just a picture. You're lucky it isn't AI.
Yeah, yeah, at least you're not using stable diffusion, gosh.
Yeah, yeah. That Swappers gets that treatment. Yeah, and this is one of my favorite albums from Tangerine Dream that Frank, was on, and some of the sounds. I mean, I could hear it straight from this album, which came before, but obviously he's allowed to use sounds that he developed. So anyway, Underwater Sunlight, check it out. It's a great album. All their albums from that era are great, but that's an album to check out if you get a chance. Sometimes the cover looks a little different. Usually it's the same image. It's just framing a little bit different depending on whether it was a tape, CD, or a record. So anyway, now we get to talk about Stuart, who, Mike, are you a big fan of, what's that band? The Cops?
The Cops.
Yeah.
I like the picture. Yeah, I don't dislike the Police. I won't say I'm a huge fan, but some of the stuff they done individually, was
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
I was
impressive.
listening to some stuff not too long ago with the guitarist and Fripp.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what was the name of the guitarist? I forget.
Was it Stuart Copeland, or is that the
No,
drummer?
that's the drummer. That's this guy.
That's the drummer. That's this
Yeah.
guy. See, now I'm getting them all
Oh,
confused.
Are you talking about Andy Summers from the
Andy
Police?
Summers.
Oh, yeah, Andy Summers.
Yes. Andy Summers did a couple albums with Robert Fripp, and I'm a big fan of Robert Fripp.
Yeah,
And
well,
King Crimson, of course.
I remember, I got to show this here. I remember trying to work out Every Breath You Take, the guitar line, the 4 chords or whatever. And I was trying to work it out and looking at, I mean, I can read music, but but in guitar, I'm much more comfortable with, the tablature.
I love the
I'm a
story behind the
saxophonist.
song more than the song.
Oh, okay. We can get to that, but let me finish here. I was looking
Okay.
at it, and I was trying to get my hands to do those positions and stuff, and I'm like going over and over and over. It's rough. And then at that time in the latter half of the '90s, then Wyclef Jean kind of covered it in a way, and he came out. No, that was P whatever, diddly do. But anyway, Wyclef did a version of that live. I saw him live, and he just picked up the guitar, played it beautifully, effortlessly. And then when there was a little bit of a drum break, he did a backflip and then he landed and kept on going with it. It was like, oh my God. I mean, Wyclef was a really underrated musician. He could really play guitar and stuff too.
There you go. Well, Archer got it.
So anyway,
It was at one time, I don't know about now, but at one time it was the most played wedding song ever. And
Ooh.
it's a song about a stalker.
Yeah,
Yes.
super creepy. Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's a creepy song, but people, yeah. It was a #1 wedding song for a number of years.
and not to be outdone, same thing with Dave Matthews' Crash.
Yeah.
When he did the story behind that, it was about well, not really necessarily a stalker, but a peeping Tom, which
Now
I don't know if there's a huge difference. I guess it depends on how.
So the real question is, when you roll this video, are we going to see what's on that last drum?
We're going to hear the Stuart Copeland version of it's his music behind the trailer for The Gathering, which I believe was the pilot. And so I don't know why there would be a trailer for a pilot because they're showing that to the studio. Maybe the trailer was for the studio too. But I don't know. Maybe Ista, you could tell us.
I thought the intention was to present it as a 2-hour movie original on P10, the Paramount
Oh,
Network.
okay.
But I will say I'm a huge Stuart Copeland fan. I grew up playing several instruments, and he was one of the more unique drummers in that era, of mid late '70s, and he was just. So I loved him, and he also was a composer, and he was sort of underrated. He had started doing film scores, and he also led the band Animal Logic. His whole family is like musically oriented. His brother like runs a music company. His other brother's like a manager and manages other bands. So I'm really torn because I absolutely love the Christopher Franke soundtrack. It's sort of like, that's how I grew to love the show. But at the same time, his score for this is really interesting and unique. And I wish they had found some place in the show to incorporate it too, because I think overall the Frank stuff was better for the show, but still it's hard because when they released these movies on disc, they replaced his score with the Frank stuff. So it's kind of hard to find even.
Well, we're going to mention it because we do have an excerpt from the Frank score coming up, but I did find the kind of trailer thing on YouTube with the Stuart Copeland music. So we're going to check that out now real quick. And so we switch here, but there is something that I guess, Liza will probably chime in about the theme coming up later. If she could hold off now, she'll be able to talk about the themes and how they changed over the years. But here we go.
I was there at the dawn of the third age of mankind.
This should have video coming up.
In the Earth year 2257,
there we go.
With the founding of the last of the Babylon stations, located deep in neutral space. It was a port of call for refugees, smugglers, businessmen, diplomats, and travelers from 100 worlds. Good.
All right. Londo's doing the intro. It's like, wait a minute, that script. I'm used to Michael O'Hare's voice or Bruce Boxleitner's voice, but there we go. But I'll play it some more.
It would be a dangerous place, but we accepted the risk because Babylon 5 was our last best hope for peace. Under the leadership of its final commander, Babylon 5 was a dream given form. A dream of a galaxy without war, when species from different worlds could live side by side in mutual respect. A dream that was endangered as never before by the arrival of one man on a mission of destruction.
Yeah, of course, actors change. And so, but the story, was already set up front. And and I think in many cases we prefer Eventually Who Came and stuff like Morden. That was a great selection, great casting for the Morden character, but I assume they're talking about Morden here.
No, this is the assassin. This is the changeling who tries to assassinate Kosh and comes very close.
Oh, for the pilot. Oh,
yeah.
I was thinking too far down.
Remember, so I have an old VHS copy of this movie. The entire score is Copeland. It wasn't just the trailer. He scored the movie. But,
I blew it there. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. It didn't get picked up for a year. And by the time the show got picked up, they lost half the cast. But the
redhead.
Yeah, the brilliant way JMS sort of incorporated that into the story, and they even bring some people back later. It's just one example of his incredible talent. He, like, everything that happens weird, like, it seems like, he meant to do that, and not in the not in the Thrawn is retarded way, like in the in Ahsoka. This is like, it really does seem like he meant. So you have the doctor and the telepath, and they just didn't go away. There's a really strong in-universe reason for it, to the extent that it really does seem like that was his original intention.
Uh-huh. Yep. So we'll continue a little bit more. I'm sure it's building up.
Earth Alliance passenger Varner cleared for entry.
Babylon 5 was the last of the Babylon stations. This is its story.
Confirmed, Delta Gamma Niner. You are clear for docking. Please surrender control of your vessel to central computer on my mark. Mark. Bring her in. Approach Vector 557.
Vector 557.
Oh, wait a minute. Am I playing the trailer? No, it said trailer on YouTube, so I think I'm playing the trailer. Yeah, the pilot would be much longer than this.
Yeah, but it sounds like you're actually playing the full intro to the movie.
Oh, okay.
Which is, man, I love Tamlin Tomita, but remember, Londo was the good guy at first, so it makes sense that he would be narrating this in the beginning.
At the beginning of the story, yeah. But anyway, this is on YouTube. I don't want to play too much because already we may have to clip it out for the rewind. If any of this material is clipped out on the rewind, you will see a post by me in the comments section with links to the Rumble and Odyssey versions where you don't have to clip things out. And especially since we're playing a shortened version of it, it's kind of sad that YouTube makes us do that sometimes. But anything else you wanted to say about that, Ista? I don't know.
Well, Archer mentioned that Tamlin Tomita is the actress. I forget her name. She is the Ivanova character in the pilot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember the pilot. I did see it like maybe twice. I was like, it's good for story-wise, having Lita, Alexander, and then, just setting up some things like later when they explained that, Kosh was seen by a doctor and everything. And that part was great. The ship, the Vorlon ship and the doctor and having to sleep and so forth like that.
The episode where it was going to be known that they were going to show Kosh, we had a huge party. I think there was like 20 or 30 people in the office, like ready for the broadcast. It was such a cultural phenomenon amongst nerds at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But Archer mentioned that she has a part to play. She originally was going to do what Talia Winters did. Spoilers are, I don't want to say, I feel like if people haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it, but
yeah, the mind, what do you call it?
Yeah.
The mind seed or whatever.
It's probably the first trapdoor he had to use, actually.
Yeah.
And,
and last night we saw the episode where there was the vicar, Kosh and the guy that records things with his mind, and they were having their weird conversation around Talia, and we were like, wait a minute, I wonder if this was related to that. But no, it was, memories of that psychopath she had to mind read.
But
and didn't they
also mention Lita Alexander in that episode?
It wasn't the same episode, but they mentioned her at one point because they had to explain some things about Kosh that, only one human had seen him to that point, and it was a doctor. But, So anyway, folks, it's a really involved series, and I know we're talking details here, so if you haven't seen it, it is something to watch. But let's launch into it. So here's the start. And basically, there you go. There's the Commodore Amiga and Toaster space designs, which were very good. I mean, I still watch them, and I still enjoy them,
The problem with the first series on DVD, even though he always filmed it to be widescreen space, the special effects were rendered in 4:3, and they had to upscale them for the first season, which is noticeably worse if you get the discs than it was on seasons 2 through 5. So, but it looked amazing on the TV. That was back and before digital. and you just didn't see anything like it before. It looked real in a way that like Star Trek: The Next Generation never did.
Well, we're going to get a little taste now of some of the music because we're going to play this first clip just because we do need some media now and then. We can't all just talk and reminisce. Here's the intro. This is how season 1, episode 1, Beyond the Pilot. Actually wanted that musical cue at the beginning. Yeah, Frank could compose for real instruments as well as synthesizers and electronics, as well as real instruments being modeled by synthesizers and electronics. And it all just kind of worked well together, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, there we go. So that is what we'll find out to be a station. Now, I could imagine people seeing this first time, back in the day, and seeing the hair and just wondering, oh,
Whoa.
what's that? But yeah, this is Centauri, the race of Centauri, and they have a science research station that's about to get attacked, and that's how we start the story. And then the jump. Well, this isn't a jump gate, but it's a hyperspace jump that's opening up there. And it's kind of cool how they did it. They have in this overall series, the hyperspace travel is either done by ships that can open their own hyperspace portals, which they call jumping to hyperspace, or ships need to use jump gates, which Babylon 5 is located next to. And so we'll see that later, but I like the way they approached the deep space travel, from system to system, and using gates or portals, and having that rule that the only I guess other sci-fi series also use that kind of, but I don't remember noticing it as much, that distinction between large and smaller craft.
May I point out something?
Yeah.
Okay, well, first with the jump gates, like after a ship comes through, it like takes hours to travel at sublight speed to their destination. They really nailed the realism with the distances, and they were thinking about that for what it would really be like. But I wanted to point out with the Centauri hair, it's not just their hair, their spaceships, their architecture, their clothing.
Oh, yeah.
It's all built around that motif of the crescent sweep. And the same with the Narn, they're sort of triangular. And it just goes to show how, like, the aliens, they're not just like forehead aliens, right? They just didn't put a little doohickey. Like the world building in this series is almost as deep as something like Lord of the Rings. They really went all in to cover every detail.
They did homage paying to Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Remember, this is the third age of humanity.
The third age. Immediately is like, oh, they're going to reference the Silmarillion or the Lord of the Rings.
And during the celebration of the most dominant belief systems of different planets, one of the Centauri gods was Morgoth.
Yes.
Which was the name for Melkor from Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
There was a really big Tolkien YouTuber. He goes over the Legendarium, and he said, but one angel, one Valar, decided to sing discordantly because blah blah blah, but mostly because his name was Morgoth. Duh.
I think the name was actually Melkor, but Morgoth was what the elves called him.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, he said, but mostly because his name was Melkor, which sounds like so much more evil than the other names of the Valar. That's
Melkor.
It just made me laugh. It's like he wanted control. He felt this way, but mostly because his name was Melkor. he did evil, and I just I know. I just always remember that. Cracks me up.
That's cool. Yeah. So as we move on, there's this is an outpost, and then eventually the research station gets hit, and there's Babylon 5. Oh, wait a minute. So unless they saw the special, now I'm sorry, I'm hazy on this because I didn't really discover the series until its last season. That's when, I discovered it. And um, I, at the time, was seeing it on TBS or TNT, one of those two. And that meant that also in the afternoons, I set my VCR to record when it was playing the repeats. So I started seeing season one and the rest of the season simultaneously with five. But because of that, I don't know the whole lore about the pilot and everything. So was it aired as a movie on television? Suddenly I'm alone.
Oh, wait, sorry. Could you repeat the question? I was
Yeah,
reading the
well,
chat.
see, yeah, I have such long lead ups that no one knows what the question is. All right. Was the pilot, was it originally aired, like you said, it was a movie that was a special, and then so it was aired, and then a couple years later is when they actually did the series?
Yeah, I didn't catch the pilot when it was aired,
Oh,
but
okay.
supposedly they did. And um Delenn, who I assume we'll see fairly soon,
Yep.
she was
She was in it.
significantly different in the pilot.
Oh, yeah, the head was different.
The idea was that I don't know. During the series, she's going to have a transformation. And
Mhm.
as we see, um, for reasons that I won't spoil, she changes species. But
Mhm.
originally, the idea was for also to her to change sex. So even though the
Oh.
actress was always Mira, she seemed more masculine
Oh,
in the
yeah. Yeah,
pilot.
she was more androgynous and yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny because that she comes from like the Balkans. Isn't she like I forget? It's like Estonia or something, or that's the Baltic.
No, it's Serbia.
Yeah, okay. I
Oh.
was gonna say Serbia. She's a very well-known actress. She's amazing, but I think she just looks so incredibly, striking and stunning as Delenn.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yes.
when she turned different, oh, it's so hard not to spoil. Like I don't know, she just did an amazing job.
Oh, yeah,
She's like,
especially, yeah, when, yeah, trying to avoid saying it. Yeah, when Ivanova had to help her,
yeah,
remember? That was a great, endearing episode.
yeah, and that imagine her having to help her even more as far as, well, this is how your biology is going to work now. Like, but yeah, Mira Furlan was definitely like the heart and soul of the show. For
Yes.
it's, I
Oh,
just,
yeah. And so there we go. That was the first view of the station, apart from the pilot, if you saw that. And then there we go. We see our first glimpses of these characters. So yeah, I thought, yeah, Claudia, is it Christensen or Christian? I think it's,
Claudia Christian.
yeah, Christian. I keep wanting to say Christensen, but anyway, Claudia Christian and Jerry Doyle. I, I thought they were great. I mean, they kind of grew on me because at first you could kind of see, like in episode one, she was still trying to kind of be Russian, but not really. I mean, because she could, I guess she couldn't do the accent or whatever, or they thought it would be silly. But she definitely is trying to be kind of stiff, or how you would perceive a Russian to be. And
Well, she got the Russian pessimism down
yeah,
perfectly, and
right.
also Claudia Christian is very tall. She's like a little bit over 5'10".
Mm-hmm.
So Jerry Doyle must be,
Very,
Or
very
he's on
tall.
an apple
enormous.
box.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think her personality, she was a huge fan favorite, and
Oh yeah.
part of it was her sarcastic, pessimistic, cynical sense of not just nature, but she had a sense of humor about it, and that's what made the character so intriguing.
Yeah, and you could just
That's
imagine that
why I
she
like
was
her.
a sci-fi girl, Mike, you said something there?
I said that must be why I like her.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, no, she's definitely a good character. There was just some moments where you could just kind of tell that She's wondering how to deliver this line or that line, but it's not bad because you just like her anyway. You like her portrayal. So
She never broke the fourth wall, but she's the character that's always talking to themselves, and those are generally quite humorous moments.
mm-hmm. So anyway, Jerry Doyle there, and there he is. Yes, as many would say, the Bruce Willis guy.
The Bruce Willis guy.
Yeah, well, I remember Bruce Boxleitner talking about him at a con that is on YouTube. You could search for
He
it.
does remind me of Bruce Willis, though. Yeah.
With Bruce Boxleitner and Mira. Yeah.
Furlan.
Yeah, Furlan. You could find them on YouTube. So look for it if you want to check it out. But yeah, one of the things Jerry Doyle did when he was auditioning, he came in and just had so much confidence. He just said, "All right, you guys, congratulations, you found your guy." That was the first thing he said. Just walked in there like saying, "You found your guy." There we
That's
go.
a good way to be.
He has a swagger and confidence, but also he has the scars of somebody who is damaged and literally recovered, because he is a sober alcoholic at this point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of art imitating life here. I think half of the cast ended up having pretty serious drug and alcohol problems.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Goodness.
So there we go. I forget what they were talking about. I always do that. Like I'm doing the slides. It's like I'm going to remember. Well, I guess it's the attack. And oh no. She's just looking for the commander. That's all.
Yeah.
And he's on the observation deck, and he tells her, the observation deck. That's where he goes to be alone. And it's kind of like feeding the audience information that this guy is a busy guy, and he needs to find some ways to get alone for a bit, not be bothered. And there we go. Michael O'Hare, who plays Commander Sinclair. Now, I think the story intended for Sinclair to be maintained, right?
Originally, yes.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't know it, and that's like the question. He said like that's the question I get asked most frequently. Like, was the switch intended? And a lot of people,
it worked.
Oh yeah, flawlessly. But a lot of people really like the show. Their main criticism is him being wooden or stiff, but I thought he was magnificent. I thought he absolutely.
Yeah, he seemed like kind of career military, but compassionate, which isn't always the case, but, that's what the character was.
Right. And very reluctant to let his hair down, but he would in certain moments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought, but he's the one that seems to get the most, catch the most strays when people are talking about the show.
No.
Well, really? I like Sinclair.
Yeah, it's easy to fall in love with, Sheridan later, but the thing is, Sinclair's still definitely at his place, especially the way they did the story, and and him being like, shall we say, the founder of Van Halen.
And they both had amazingly detailed and interesting backstories. That's why it seems like, oh, you must have planned this from the beginning, really.
Yeah.
It all fits together so perfectly.
Yeah, but here the story is that, as you find it out throughout the episode, and they were really good about that, was that, he was in the Minbari War. The Earth and Minbari were at war for a while. And, over the first few episodes, you get the story that, the Minbari really were outclassing us. And somehow they surrendered right at the end, and they bit by bit drop little things that fill in the story, and it comes together gradually. So obviously this is a guy that basically lost all the people at his side he was fighting with, and he's the one that lost his memory. He doesn't know what happened, why they surrendered, and what happened to him for like 24 hours. And so you develop a bit of compassion that way, when you find out you're not, unbeatable. And then you also are put into a position of authority where you want to be more responsible about it.
I love how the show just opens, it drops you in there. It's like, Babylon 5, the last of the stations. Well, where's 3? Where's 4? Where's 2? And then, how did those guys, why are they friends? They just had a war. You have all these questions, and they do get answered, but very organically. I can't recall a single exposition dump, done for exposition's sake in the whole show. It was just, it all came out. You just have to be a little patient, and when they answer questions, they're going to ask new ones too. But like I said, it took me about 5 or 6 episodes of halfway paying attention before I realized this is just not another cheap sci-fi show with forehead aliens, and I got really into it pretty quickly.
Yeah, and when we saw Tron recently, watching back to 1982 Tron and Peter Jurassic in that, of course he's recognizable and everything, but the voice is so different. It's almost like after seeing this, I can't accept him without the Malari accent.
Without the accent,
Fear, bring me some.
Oh man.
I'll wait until they pop. But 2 of the cast members got married for a very brief stint. But I'll wait until I'll.
All right. No, that's awesome. But here, this slide was basically also feeding you a lot of information because here Garibaldi, played by Jerry Doyle, meets up with the Centauri ambassador Londo Mollari, who is played by Peter Jurassic.
Yeah, it wasn't these 2 that got married, by the way.
Oh, okay. But anyway, they here Garibaldi's kind of upset because he's like, "You lied to us. You said that we were related to you, and you're not, and we're not." Basically, you get the definition that even though they're humanoid, human beings and Centauri are not related. They don't have critical blood vessels in their wrists and so forth. That sort of thing. All this feeding you some alien lore information here. And, you guys said you were so great, but it turns out you weren't all that great. And then you find that later because there's flashbacks to the early meetings between the humans and the Centauri in later seasons where you got to get that filled in and you're like, oh, I remember them talking about that and stuff. So anyway, here we go. That's Veer. Veer comes to, he's Londo's assistant, and he comes to, he basically this attack, he's comes to inform him about the attack. And so the nice little chat with Garibaldi's over. We see the station again. And we have a number 3. So I'm going to play clip number 3. If anybody has something they want to add, go ahead while I load it up. But I got it loaded, so.
Archer Collins should be a guest on the show.
Archer, yes, you should be a guest on the show.
Yeah. You got more, definitely. I haven't watched enough to have this much information.
Well,
you must feel like you're at a convention here, Mike. You're like, damn, these people.
Well, I was obsessing for a little while with Stuart Copeland's drums. It's a very naughty word that was on there and blocked out, let me tell you.
If I'm not mistaken, Veer.
Wait a minute.
Oh, okay.
Am I supposed to follow up on that, Mike, or?
No, I can't repeat it. It's the C word, the dreaded C word.
Oh,
I thought it was cop.
It was on his drums?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, there was a lot of friction between the band members and him and Sting.
Oh.
For a while there. So anyway, but yeah, I just had to find out, and I did. And it was not what I expected.
Oh, well, tell us.
I did. It's the C. It is the dreaded C word.
You cannot say it on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Your stream will be taken down.
But was it on the picture
well, I was
there?
Yes. Well, it was just. You got lucky, Lawrence, in that it was just off the edge of the picture because everybody else could read the drums. I mean, FYI, folks, Lawrence has a vision problem.
I'm always the last to know.
I should be reviewing his slides before he posts things because, goodness, he cannot
the only
see.
aerial picture of the drums was blacked out. I had to find an article that actually said what it was.
I can't guess. Oh, Mr. Stuffobos, you said you had something to say about
Stuffobos? It's
Veer.
Stuffobos.
Yes, that is
Yeah.
actually relevant.
It's Stuffobos.
Yeah.
Non-Stuart
Well-
Copeland related.
Well, Veer, who is commonly referred to as Veer by
Yes.
Peter Jurassic, you might recognize him as Flounder, the pledge to the Triple Delta 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 from the movie Animal House, way
Oh
back
my
when.
God, I thought he looked familiar.
Oh, Stephen First. Yeah. He
Yeah,
was
he-
also on like a TV
Yes,
show
he
with
was.
Elliot Gould in the 80s or something like that. Some hospital show.
And talk about a character arc. Holy crap, man.
Yes.
But yes, I when I first saw him, I'm like, that's Flounder, which is, I
What do we
think,
do in Animal House?
Kent Dorfman.
There's
Yeah.
music in Animal House.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe.
I haven't seen it, Mike. I have to see it.
Oh,
I know, Mike.
man.
I know, Mike. I know.
Yeah, it's classic. It's an American classic. Kind of like Monty Python and the Holy Grail is a British classic.
But we try to be careful about. I mean, yeah, that would be one of the episodes where we know that all the music we play is going to be clipped out.
Yeah.
This we might be able to get away with some, because it's
I don't know,
incidental
maybe.
music.
Well,
But-
the C word's not in there anywhere, so, we're safe. Anyway,
Well, oh no,
proceeding
it's
on.
not that. It's the.
knew he looked
music
familiar.
period takes the monetization.
Oh, I know. I
Yeah.
know.
But
It's
we do it when
replacing
it's really
mine.
worth. All right, I'm going to pause it there just so it doesn't
Aw.
play too much back to back. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell, but YouTube usually doesn't like it if you play it too long. Go ahead.
Stuart Copeland's drums. Peisty is the cymbal company he used.
Mhm.
They put out a ride cymbal of the line. It was called the Rude. So if you look at his drums from the top, it not only says, F off you C word, you see rude all surrounding the drums. So it just sort of, that's probably maybe where he got the idea.
Interesting.
Or maybe it was to say, you don't carry this roadie or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know, but I always thought it was funny. And the rude symbols were definitely a interesting addition to, they had this smooth modeled texture. They were sort of iridescent. They didn't look like the normal shiny concentric circle symbol. I don't know. I don't want to get too into it, but I love drums. So.
Yeah. Well, we can go to the theme, and then the theme continues on from there with credits and stuff. But we shall see some credits in case, anybody wants to say anything about any follow-up to the actors as we go here. Let me see. I'm trying to click on the slide forward. Yeah, I can get it. There we go. Yeah, it's me talking to myself on stream. That's what I do. Okay. So Michael O'Hare. Anything to say about Michael O'Hare? I mean, other than Babylon 5, what were other things that he's done? Anyone know? I don't know.
He did some cop shows, guest starring. I didn't know who he was when the show came out, but obviously after I would see him occasionally on reruns. I'm thinking, hold on, I'm going to check, but maybe the Rockford Files.
Okay.
Yeah. But those sort of, shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
He would guest star on like a cop or a detective show or something. He had some personal problems, and it was funny because it was only several years ago. I guess JMS, J. Michael Straczynski, did a post about what happened, and he said, I told him as long as he was alive, I would keep it a secret, but once he passed away, that it was okay for him to talk about the mental challenges that O'Hare had. So that all came out. I forget when he passed, but it wasn't that long ago. And so there was a big article just sort of explaining, their friendship and how they had a close relationship, and he had some unfortunate things going on like that. I think it was some schizophrenia, maybe.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Well, yeah, I have some things that I need to, sometimes deal with some brain chemistry stuff and anxiety, but so I can understand when people you know, have some things that kind of override what they actually are thinking and so forth, you know?
Oh yeah. It was 2012, which is significantly, but I'm old, so it seems like
Yeah.
2012 wasn't that, you know. But he did have a highlight appearance. He was in Chud, the cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers movie. So
Okay.
that's sort of a cult classic.
I haven't heard of that, but you
Oh,
know, maybe
if you like trash, um, he was
trash.
also he was also in an Equalizer episode that we were just talking about on Mr. Brown that premiered
Huh.
this day way back when. So
Cool. Well,
um,
anyway,
yep.
I mean, he did a great job in that role, I believe. And then Claudia Christian. Now, the other exposure I've had to her is she did voice on a game I played one time called Summoner 2. It's an old,
Oh,
like,
wow.
PS2 game, you know.
If
But also, we saw in the doctor's office, like, about a, you know, several months ago, Liza and I were there, and of course, they're playing like Lifetime movies or whatever. And we remember seeing on screen, and she's like, wait a minute, isn't that Ivanova?
Yes.
She was on
What
some
was
life.
it? Yeah,
I
wasn't
don't
it
know.
a
We're in the
it was a
doctor's office. I
Christmas
have no
movie.
idea.
Yeah, it was a Hallmark Christmas movie we were watching, and it's like, "Really?
We
Oh."
weren't watching it. It was just there in the room with us.
she also did a movie where she played a famous fashion model slash crazy serial killer. Uh,
Oh, okay.
it was sort of I don't remember the name of it, but I remember just catching it late night on cable one time. I'm like,
Mhm.
you know, and around the mid 90s, if you like to go to Renaissance festivals, you had a good chance of seeing her there because she was a huge aficionado. And during the summer
Oh,
breaks from
wow.
filming, she would follow the Ren Fair around the country.
Oh.
Oh, man. No wonder the fans loved her.
Yeah, that's where I ended up bumping into her.
Oh
My
my god.
I never met her because of my slight association with the show, but she did show up at a Ren Fair in my city and several Irish pubs afterwards in the evening.
Did
Awesome.
she leave the show? I mean, she left the show, obviously, but did she do it of her own accord or?
They it was one of those he said she said things. They both claimed that they wanted her to stay, but they couldn't come to an agreement. I never got really the final word on what happened.
Mm,
But I think there might have been some money negotiations. I was really kind of devastated when she left because it would have
yeah.
been perfect, absolutely perfect, uh, considering what happened at the end of season 4 for her to stay. But instead,
Yeah.
she was replaced by Tracy Scoggins, who she did a fine job, but I never warmed up to her in the same
Well,
way.
fortunately, it's a different character, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, Hexed was the movie where she plays
Uh-huh.
Hexina, a homicidal model. So
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
it was somewhat ridiculous, but and I think she did voice in a couple of World of Warcraft games, right?
Maybe. I'm not a huge gamer, but I remember noticing her name on that. But anyway, yeah, we go onwards. Jerry Doyle, of course. I don't know him from anything else, but I don't know. He was also a fan favorite,
Oh yeah.
and that's Garibaldi. And then no, not finally yet, but Mira Furlan as
Yeah.
the Len. Perfect performance of that role. And then we have Richard Biggs as Stephen Franklin. And
They
he
might
did
as
well, you know.
they might as well call him Dr. Stephen Franklin McCoy because he's like came straight out of Star Trek. Like I'm a doctor, not a whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, you know, obviously also caring about, you know, people and healing more so than other aspects of medical
Yes.
science.
Yeah, he didn't really fit in the military, that's for sure.
Right.
Yep. And the episode with his dad was great. Mhm.
Okay, so here she married Jerry Doyle in 1995 or so,
Oh,
and it lasted about a year and a half, maybe. It was a very, um,
Really? Wow.
intense relationship, and she went on to become a CNN news anchor.
Oh,
So
she looks like one.
yeah, after she left the show, she ended up. I thought she was perfect for her role. She had a bit of like a little bit of aloofness and distance about her that totally fits with being in the Psi Corps. You can't
Yeah.
really touch anybody else with your skin, kind of like
Mm-hmm.
Rogue from the X-Men,
Yeah.
and she had a very striking, elegant appearance, but also kind of icy. But
Yep.
the casting on this again was just perfect.
Yeah. Swappers.
Oh, Swappers is working on Star Wars Retold while listening to us at the same
Yeah,
time.
Praxium
That's
of the Pathfinders.
yeah, that's difficult to
Yeah,
do.
we reconnect whenever we can.
Yes.
So
Is he saying he's recording us?
no,
No, he's trying
I
to
don't.
record lines and listen to us at the same time.
Yeah, in the next Praxium of the
It says
Pathfinders.
recording lines here.
I want to just
here, meaning where he's at. I think basically he's not going to have
I know, but I hadn't said anything
Ray
sarcastic in a
listening
while,
to
so there you go.
earworms on the next Praxium of the Pathfinder.
I do want to shout out his logo is awesome. I love that thing. It's very
It
well
is
designed. So props to you, Swappers.
And here's Veer.
He's awesome.
I think he also directed a couple episodes. Stephen First.
Did he?
But anyway, yeah, he's one of those guys that he did more in Hollywood than you would think, because as far as acting's concerned, he didn't have a lot of major roles or anything. This is probably his biggest one, and then but you would see him in credits, different places, in having done things. Or at
Yeah.
least I know he's been in a director credit for some other things too. Go ahead.
You often see that in long running shows, where certain actors will get a chance to do
Yeah.
some other stuff. But he has 12 directing credits, and he also worked as a producer. So I think you're right there. He had a quite a behind the scenes career in Hollywood for a time.
Bill Mumy, who did have appearances as like a guest actor in Deep Space Nine, I remember, and yeah, and Lanier. He's the character that you really like at first, and then you get creeped out by him
I mean,
as
they
time goes
did.
on.
They like to turn good guys into bad guys, or show how good guys can be corrupted to becoming bad guys. They did it with Londo, who you love at the beginning, and they did it with Lanier. Well, with Lanier, really hit hard though. It was
Well, the infraction was somewhat severe. Like even Londo, just it seems like what he did, even though it was horrible, he sort of baby stepped his way into it more innocently.
yes.
But what Lanier did, and of course, people may recognize him from I don't remember to say, from the TV show they canceled Star Trek the original series for, Lost in Space. And he is it was he named Billy in the show too? No, Danger, Will Robinson. Will Robinson from the show Lost in Space, where the
Wow.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Huh.
Wow.
Okay.
So he has 84 episodes of Lost in Space, and he of course was super famous at the time. I believe this show, I'm trying to remember. I was just so pissed they canceled Star Trek. I don't think I watched it for a very long time.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Lost in Space.
Yeah, no, it was definitely
other than that one line.
It was, yeah, I love the robot, but it was definitely a cheaper, sort of more cheesy show than the serious Star Trek that came before it.
Yeah.
So
exactly,
it was just I think that's really how I found my original nerddom, was going around to Star Trek conventions that started, in the early 70s after the show was canceled. So,
Well, in any case, Lanier doesn't even join the episodes until I think episode 5 or 6. When they had the dominant religion day at Babylon 5. And same thing with this character, Caitlin Brown, who played Natoth. They, in fact, had a different assistant for, even though they're listing her in the credits here as early as episode 1, there was Kodar or whatever it was, like the assistant that came in like episode 2 or 3. It was 3 where she came in, and it was like, it's not even Natoth yet. She's in the credits.
I want to mention that another beautiful example of story construction and narrative, that all of the main ambassadors had an assistant that featured in several episodes that enabled you to sort of get a point of view from what the peasants, the on the ground view. You have the lofty ambassadors, the real important people going around, movers and shakers, but you also get a really strong sense because they'll center episodes around the assistants of each of these very important people, and you kind of see what it's like, what life is like, as a less important person. And it's another one of the brilliant ways in which he constructed the story to show you all aspects of what was happening.
Now, Andreas Katsoulias,
Yes.
also known as Tomalak.
The
from
Romulan.
Star Trek, The Next Generation. The Romulan who's in a few episodes arguing with Picard over a view screen.
You got to take your hat off to actors that are willing to work under that kind of makeup and to spend 8 hours every morning in the chair just to, I don't think I can't sit still for 15 minutes. I don't know what I would do.
Oh yeah. And he delivered some of the best dramatic moments,
Yeah. Again,
he was able to act and not just be an alien. He was a diplomat, and then, kind of a diplomat, but basically, by the end, he, just such an eloquent, speaker and everything that you knew the actor really knew his stuff.
Amazing character. Where I think the most heart-wrenching moments in the entire show for me, besides when people got killed, was his arc. And he intentionally wasn't very likable at first, and then afterwards, you have people wearing him on T-shirts and holding up signs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's absolutely, just the journeys that you get to go on with these characters as the show progresses. You just don't see that very often at all.
No.
And Londo. All right. We're just we're not going to get through episode 1 unless we speed up a little bit here. Created by J. Michael Straczynski, and then yes, we know that's the station and the name. We got to the name of the episode. Okay, now.
Agreed, Archer Collins. That's very true. Sorry, had to throw that in there.
Oh, what did Archer say?
Archer says the best arc is that between Londo and Jakar. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know I'll shut up after this because I want you to get through it. But what Liza mentioned, you get to see good characters become bad and bad characters become good. But you also always get to see the opportunity for redemption that some of them take and some of them don't. And it's beautiful. All right, I'll shut up so we can get through it.
Well, we do have a guest star to mention. This guy, Paul Hampton, plays the Senator. All right. And there is a slide where he appears. Whoopty-doopty. Okay, so anyway, guess who comes in? It's Jakar and Delenn, and they just heard about this attack. And Jakar doesn't know anything about it. And he's telling the truth at that time. He doesn't. So, yes, the Centauri have been attacked. And then you start learning about there's a background between the Centauri and the Narn. The Centauri had basically ruled over the Narn, and it was very harsh rule and nearly destroyed their planet.
Ruled over the Narn. Yeah.
And so now the Narn are trying to get their revenge. But at this moment, Jakar doesn't know that they sponsored the attack. And there's O'Hare look. I mean, he got that look down. So anyway, that's where he finds out about it, and or the commander finds out about it, and a lot of external shots. Was this one where I had a musical cue? I don't know. Yes, I do.
Yep,
I
number
can't believe I
4.
caught myself. Yes, 4. So we're almost halfway through the musical cues. We are going to speed up because much of what we talked about is is all about the show in general, and so we're not going to have to detail all that again. Yeah, I included this because of the music for one, where it's just kind of like a stinger at the intro, after a commercial break. Ba-zoom, doom, 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 and this the synth sounds, doom, doom, layered pads and then stabs here and there. It's like perfect, just so much so that you don't think about it, but when you listen to it in detail and so forth, you're like, man, the composer really knew what they were doing there. And as we go on, one of the things they did great in the show was timing, like him coming in the door, delivering the lines, going out the door, people moving around in the control room, CNC, and I noticed that throughout this whole episode, just the extras, and how they would move in the background in the public areas and so forth. It just felt like you were really there, and it's like, man, that took some effort to get that right, and then doing multiple takes and everything, and having to time the releases of people going this way and that way. The choreography basically is great too. So anyway, no one has anything to say, but that's fine.
Agreed.
Yeah,
No, we are in
Well, but
agreement. Yes.
but it's something, yeah, that it's like a lot of times you don't pay attention to it, but when you do, it's like, man,
well, seamless is the word that comes to mind. Just everything is deliberate and smooth and seamless. I started thinking I wish they had more of a budget for more sets,
mm-hmm.
which made me think if they remade it today, which make me terrified how they would have
Oh
wokified it.
no.
So it's sort of off in my head a little bit about them
Yeah,
ruining it now. So,
Mm.
yeah. No, and Bruce Boxleitner said that this was the magic of this show was the combination of people that came together to do it at that time, and yeah,
Weren't there threats of them remaking Babylon 5 in CGI?
or animated or something.
Animated, yeah.
I heard something about that, but I don't
Yeah.
think it ever came to
Never
fruition.
came, thank gosh. Yeah. We don't need a remake. It's fine.
Well, anyway, Talia Winters comes in, and yeah, she's been trying to get in touch with the Lieutenant Ivanova because Lieutenant Commander, I should say. But anyway, because she's supposed to check in with the second in command, and Ivanova's been kind of like, I don't know, hasn't been responding and so forth. So she had to come in person, and so you get the idea that there's something around these two, even though you know.
Archer Collins says they did do an animated
Oh
reboot
no.
recently, but
oh yeah, it was terrible. It was sort of uh, yeah, it was. It wasn't the worst thing, but it was very disappointing. It had that sort of Tron animated feel. Everybody looked really skinny and stretched out, and I don't
okay.
know. I can hardly remember it now. It was like a bunch of little epilogue shorts for the characters. It was just sort of disappointing, I think.
Okay. I won't
Why?
even bother
Did they
looking
Why
it
learn
up.
even
nothing
do
from
it?
Star Trek?
Go
Did
ahead,
you
Mike.
I said, did they learn nothing from Star Trek? Did you ever see the Star Trek animated?
That's awesome.
Uh-oh.
I know, I was just kidding.
Oh.
I actually have the. Okay, I'm going to tell on myself now. I actually have the DVD set.
Oh,
No,
like
Cool.
awesome. Cool. You know that
I haven't watched it in years, but yeah, it was all right.
they had the same writers. It was the same stories, and all the original cast
And
got
all the
together and did
original
the voice.
cast.
Yeah,
And I
it's
haven't seen Babylon 5, so I mean, I'm just now watching the show, so I'm behind the times.
oh, and
Well,
in case people forgot, Bruce Boxleitner, uh, you know, he's also somebody else people might recognize.
But if you're
Well,
telling me the anime sucked, then they didn't learn anything from Star Trek. Now, did they?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, the thing is, just in response to you, is the reason why I guess I subconsciously haven't been saying anything about. Well, I've been mentioning his name, but the last 2 weeks or actually last week and then several weeks back, we actually did Tron from 1982. So I've been mentioning John Sheridan back then too. So I didn't feel all of a sudden the need to mention. Oh, by the way, you don't see him in this episode, but in the next season.
Yeah. That's why I thought about mentioning it, because he doesn't even show up for another year. But
yeah. No, but we'll be doing other Babylon 5 as time goes on.
Yes.
We just need to space it out, but every now and then we're going to do another one. I'll probably select, I think at one point want to do, Soul Hunter, which is episode 2, because that one, there was a lot of material covered in it that I was like, whoa, man. And every time I see it, I some of the lines, like some of the things that Delenn says, it's like, oh, wait a minute, that's an interesting way of thinking of it.
That one's pretty deep.
Yeah, I love exploring the mysteries of life, especially life and death.
I think
and
you
all
should
that.
do that one next week.
Yeah, well, if you call for it, Mike, we can do it.
Yes.
Well, I just watched it, so it's semi-fresh in my brain.
All right, we'll do it.
I watched this one like 3 months ago.
You know, one thing you'll love, Mike, when you eventually get to one of the specials that they had, one of the Soul Hunters, you don't see Soul Hunters again until a special. And in that special, the Soul Hunters played by Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. It's
Is
one
that
of the
in season
specials
one
they did.
or
Oh, no, like
later?
season 4 or 5. It was definitely
Oh,
later.
wow.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Return of Khan, huh?
Return?
And there was, well, never mind. I'll look up the
Return of Khan.
It was a joke, man.
Oh, okay.
That's my job on here, man. I am the court jester.
Did you ever see that film?
What, the Wrath of Khan?
No, Star Wars: The Return of Khan.
Star Wars? No.
The Return of Khan. I think
maybe
Lawrence is trying to
we'll have-
supplant you as the jester, Mike.
As well as the one, the last
Well, I was thinking
Minbari.
this could be an idea for swappers there, you never know.
Yeah.
Hey, he's listening right now. It's a good time to,
I know.
throw him some ideas. Oh,
That's
yes.
right.
Yes.
All right, there we go. There's the jump portal. I don't know. I think I'm going to start picking up the pace a lot, but we see the jump gates there. I don't know if I need to keep saying the story for people. Just watch it yourself. We're just going to talk about the slides that come up, but we're not going to detail the story anymore. I can't do it. Yeah.
Do you have an Amazon affiliate link to the DVD set?
I don't have. I haven't set up anything with Amazon.
That's why I'm making
And
it.
you know I don't.
I know, but I'm saying, look at the opportunity
Oh, yeah.
you've
All right.
missed.
Yeah, this sounds like a domestic situation that we don't want to get involved in. Thank you.
Well, let me just do here.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that.
Just to inform people. No, she wants me to she only came up with the idea today. But yeah, she wants me to set up an Amazon affiliate thing. I'm like, all right, at some point, but during the weeks, I can't really think about a lot of this stuff because I'm trying to actually earn a living. But let's see here. We do have, it's all on Amazon. It used to be free on Amazon if you had Prime. I don't think it is anymore. Doesn't look like it. I'm seeing prices next.
I can. Oh, you're looking at Amazon now.
I'm watching it on Tubi.
Ooh.
Oh, it's on Tubi.
Wait, it's on
Well,
Tubi
then-
for free?
I'm watching it on Tubi.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think I watched the first one a few months ago on Amazon, and then they started charging money. But it's on
Yeah.
Tubi. So
Oh.
there you
Well,
go, folks.
That's
Glad I could help.
another smart decision by Amazon. Let's charge for something that is free on another
Tubi.
platform.
That's right.
It probably
Well-
won't be free on Tubi forever, though.
Yeah,
No,
that's what I'm more
nothing's
afraid
forever.
of.
That's why, folks, if you like it enough, buy physical media.
DVD,
Yeah, physical media.
Well, nowadays,
Blu-ray.
Blu-ray, yeah. Yeah, they touched it up and made it HD several years back. All
You
right.
think they're going to release another remaster that's AI remastered? They're doing a lot. They're doing a lot of AI remastering stuff with
Yeah, because
with things.
we need characters with 6 fingers and stuff.
I don't think they're using stable diffusion though.
Anyway, they're talking about the presidential election. So they started the whole theme with the president pretty early on, like episode 1.
Yeah.
And basically, she says she's voting for Crane because Santiago, I don't trust him, and
Has a weak chin.
he has a weak chin, and his vice president has several.
Just
Great line.
her sense of humor again, man. Everything she said, everything out of her mouth is sarcastic or sardonic.
Well, here we have back in Londo's quarters, his assistant Veer is there, and he's like, Veer's like, what's going on? I'm shocked about this stuff that's going on, and Londo's getting a feed about the situation, and Londo notices that's a Narn heavy cruiser, and actually, yes, this is how those cruisers look. I mean, obviously, it's on a monitor here, but those cruisers, like when you see them in footage later in other episodes, they are really nice. They get blown up all the time, but they're really nice. So anyway, he's pissed off because he's like, Jakar knew about this, and Narn were involved. So anyway, there we go. There's stuff blown up somewhere, right? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, Raiders, because they're mixing in the Raiders too. So much comes at you at once, but then it works out by the end of the episode.
It's all
There's still-
important later. Yeah.
Yeah, all important later, but they do bring the episode to a conclusion, so you at least figure things out by the end. It's kind of like a mystery.
Wait, did someone just change their profile to Technomage? Is that what I'm seeing there? I don't know. Is that the avatar is so small? I can't tell.
I think it has CNC there.
Oh, no. This is like a fan-made Babylon 5 trailer. It's just from the... So there are some interesting fan-made bits out there if you look.
Ooh.
I saw it and I thought the image was striking, so I just put it up there.
Yeah, well, Jakar and Londo start going at it, and then they get separated by extras that were on the set. And so we are now going to finally play again at the right location, that clip I played before, but we'll be very quick about it. But this is their argument where basically you find out that, okay, now Jakar finds out that, yeah, his world did do this, and it's like, but we don't care because you guys strip mined our planet, and it's time that we start, coming back at you. It's not just revenge, because you'll find out later they actually did. This was part of their system before. Here we're done with the music and everything.
Beautiful.
It's like, yeah, I mean, especially if I had already liked Tangerine Dream before that, and then appreciated some of the sounds they had in their music and everything. And so it was like, oh, this is awesome. Oh, hold on. I just had a problem. Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry, I pulled a cable with my leg and I almost pulled something out. All right, so what's going on now? Still going slow. Come on, speed up. So, yes, here we are. We're back at his place. Looking a little frazzled there with the crest. But, yeah. No. He's talking with Sinclair. So, I guess here the whole thing is Sinclair is still a little dubious about the Centauri because they bragged about being more strong than they actually ended up being at this point in time. Maybe they had some glory years in the past, but still they were more of a bully power rather than being an absolute power or anything like that. So they were just kind of like arguing about it. But Sinclair decides that, we are going to have a meeting of the Council of Non-Aligned Worlds, which is kind of like their little UN that they have. But there's only like a few voting, voting planets. in the council, but they're going to decide on taking action, hopefully, at least they think. So there we go. And this I took a snapshot of because in this scene, I know this just is a frozen slide and it doesn't convey it at all, but the people milling around in the background were definitely following their cues and the directions they needed to walk in. And, but it just looks so realistic that it's like you can easily melt in and not, not think about it at all. I mean, they just weren't all going one direction. It was different directions and it was timed. So even the background walking was just like, you know, so much attention to detail.
And the costumes are amazing considering their limited budget. Like if you look at Malari and Jakar, just it doesn't look cheap, man. It looks like you could see that's actually what this culture or aliens would wear.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps the limited budget is what I guess helped the creativity.
Oh, there's so many examples of that where people with infinite money do crap, but
Yes.
you're forced to be creative and you need to get inspired when you have limitations imposed upon you. Absolutely.
Yep. In fact, the great Igor Straczynski says that said that variety, just having too many compositional options, is what can destroy a composition or a piece of art. And so, yeah, this goes to show, perhaps if they had a larger budget, they would have flubbed something somewhere. It was brilliant.
Well, here, just so people know why I was showing these slides. Well, the timing of the conversation between Ivanova and Garibaldi was good, and then they cued Talia Winters in the background at just the right time as Ivanova left, and then you see these glances between each other because then it gives you the idea that that Ivanova's avoiding her and everything, but then she's observing Garibaldi eating here. So it was like a scene that was most everything was communicated through glances and physical acting rather than the lines being delivered, because her stopping by to see Garibaldi wasn't, even the center of the attention at all. So anyway, but yeah, you can really convey that with slides. Anyway, we move on now where, Sinclair is going to visit Kosh. And, we need to play a clip here because Kosh is somewhat performance art, but this is the first view you get before he puts on his what do you call it? I guess his hood.
Encounter suit.
Well, it's partially on here. It's just the hood part of it isn't up yet. But interesting stuff. You'll see it now because that's part of this video clip. I love the voice, but that sound was very 90s because I remember I had a Korg wave station and you could kind of make a sound very similar to that, at least with that, the kind of like the rattling around of these
awesome
synthetic fragments in the background. All right. And then there he is with the rest of the regalia on. But of course, he was behind that thing there, and then he needed to put the rest of the encounter suit on before he sees Sinclair. And they're talking like Vorlons do, kind of in mysterious tones. So you get this idea early on that the Vorlons are very mysterious. They don't speak clearly. I mean, he asked him point blank, are you guys going to vote for taking action? And Cautious doesn't say anything. It just stands there. And he's like, will you be at the meeting at least? And he's like, yes.
You thought Fu Manchu was inscrutable. This guy, he drove people crazy for 2 seasons.
Oh, yeah. Because, saying very mysterious things and stuff like that, but expressing this confidence of actually a far advanced civilization where it's like, I don't need to answer your questions. I'll just stand here and ignore you rather than saying anything.
I,
You'll figure it out.
I forget which episode he says this, but part of the sort of response of the Centauri, bragging about when they were, the preeminent empire in the galaxy and stuff like that. And Kosh just sort of uh, lightly throws an aside. They are both a dying race.
Oh,
And you're
he
like,
does.
Yes, that was at this episode, I
Yeah,
think, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
If it
So-
wasn't those words, it was something similar in this
Yeah.
episode. He does mention here to Sinclair that it's like they're both lost.
yeah, so it's a beautiful contrast to Malari, bragging about the old days of glory, and it's bone chilling, really, man.
But it was in it. What also cuts deep is that in this episode you do find out that the Narn were abused by the Centauri, and so the Narn felt like it's kind of like a trauma response. They felt like the only way they could be powerful and strong and safe was to destroy the Centauri and to become conquerors themselves. And then when Sinclair asked Kosh, uh, like which species are you talking? Like which planet are you talking about? Which one are the ones that are doomed?
He just goes,
He just says yes. He meant both.
Yeah.
He meant both of them.
Yeah.
The aggressor and the one who overreacted and started doing evil themselves. And so it's fascinating.
They're both lost. And yeah,
They're both lost. But you kind of feel bad for the Narn because it hardly seems fair. They were abused and they're just overreacting, and then they never had time to learn or evolve and I
Well-
guess grow out of the infancy of their
they will
species.
over the next 2 seasons.
No, I mean Jakar does, but
Yeah.
the Narn people
Yeah, that's
don't.
true.
Yeah,
Many of
it's
them-
sad. If you really think about it, it's like, damn. But it's very realistic. It's
All right.
yeah.
So that
Anyway.
last thing there was Garibaldi looking up the Raiders on Ivanova's computer. Now let's see if we can get going here. We're on number 7. Good. And this is a very memorable. This kind of gives you a little bit of a taste of the, shall we say, the kind of relationship between Londo Mollari and Veer Kodo. I thought this was a very good representation of that.
And the emergency session can go to hell.
Always feel bad for Veer. Oh,
Not until later, Not later. He took the right path.
he did.
Yep.
But throughout the series, it's like, man, Veer,
Yeah.
you gonna put up with this, Veer?
Yep. Doesn't have much of a choice.
Oh,
But anyway, yeah, basically you find out the reason why Malaria's upset is that his government has decided they're not even going to do anything about this. Now, he's hoping, though, that the other worlds will do something about it, from this emergency session. Hopefully they'll vote on it and decide to go and basically take care of our problem for us because our government isn't going to. And so he's upset that his government is not as strong as it used to be. Even though they were never mega strong, it was like they were stronger than they were today.
well, what you find out later is, the government here is the emperor is trying to fix the Centauri culture and move away from
Yeah, when we meet that emperor later on, yeah.
right. And so I mean Mollari has always been in the wrong.
Yep. But here, this was a scene where she wanted to know, why is this Ivanova avoiding me? And he's just says, well, it takes her a little bit of time to warm up and stuff like that. Nothing serious. But then he does make an offer, afterwards, if you want to come by. after you try to talk with Ivanova, you can join me for my second favorite thing in the universe. We get to wonder what that is. We find out by
Yeah,
the end of the episode.
but she knows, and that's why she's smiling. And the whole running gag between her and him in the elevator.
Yeah.
It's just one of those little touches, man. Like that makes the show so epic.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was right here in episode 1 was the first elevator scene. And there we go. Now we get to see the full thing. Yes. Finally. There we go. That's how it looks. And now this is another moment where we can see the Narn perspective, but we see the Narn perspective isn't all that enlightened. As Jakar talks to Sinclair, we find out that it is indeed about revenge, and it's like we won't be happy until we can carve the bones of the Centauri into little flutes for Narn children to play. Scott, welcome, Scott.
Yeah, Scott's been with us for a while.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, well, we've been going long enough.
Scott's been, he's been here for.
Oh, Mike, if you need to leave, please go ahead. I know that. Well, this is around our ending time, but we are close. We are getting close. But
Yeah,
Mike,
we're
if
good.
you do need to leave. All right. Well, anyway.
Unless you're going to break out into an hour-long discussion, then I, might have to bow out.
All right. Well, I don't think so. But anyway, we see that, yes, both the aggressor-victim situation can change from one place to another, but the idea is, do you learn from it? Because neither perspective is correct, really. All right, and there we go. Garibaldi finds out information about these raiders or something, and then Sinclair's going to go out to try and find out, because they know there's some ship that has not been bothered by them yet, and it's probably going to be the next place they're going to hit. And so they're thinking there might be a relationship between these raider strikes and so forth. And Sinclair learned a little something from his talk with Jakar about the Narn in the past were the people that traded with the humans in their struggle with the Minbari. And he said, yeah, the Narn were willing to sell to anybody. And then later that proves out to be a clue. And here we go. This is that Paul Hampton, the guest star of the show, playing the senator. There you go. Hi, Paul. All right. I don't know who he is or anything. I just... but anyway, Earth is saying, what is Earth saying? I think they don't want to take action. That's the whole idea. It's like, we have enough problems here at home. We don't want, to get involved in alien affairs. And so, but he's telling Ivanova, you didn't know that I received that order to not have a vote. So the last thing you heard was what we're going to have a vote yes in favor of getting involved in the conflict, and he's about to head out and try and get more information with these raiders. I love the design of the fighters and the mechanisms they used for launching them. This drop down thing where they, basically motorized arms and then they dropped off. It was a bit of a detail that made things much, just more easier to appreciate when you have details like that. Like, hey, that's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah, again,
fighters like that. It could literally be any direction. They're in space, but
Yeah, so depending upon where the station is in its rotation, it uses the artificial gravity to push the fighter out. They really put so much thought and detail into how the fighters would work, all the attitude jets and the thrusters, the way the cockpit related. It's all just, this is real sci-fi. Everything about it is somewhat plausible given the technology that we have now, and very well executed.
Yeah, it's a rotating cylinder that creates the artificial gravity. And then these fighters, basically, as it's rotating, would just be launched off using kind of a centrifugal force, I believe. And there we go.
Yeah.
And there he is off to see the Raiders. Oh, and we have clip 8. There's only 10 clips, folks, so we are making progress. And I thought I was going to get through 3. Oh, Lord. Here we go. No, actually, we only have 9 clips. I just saw it there, but here we go. Here's clip 8. This is more musical score stuff here. For all these sequences is really good. Man, the way the music lined up with that. Sorry, folks, if you're wondering why I'm playing such short sequences, it's on YouTube. You got to play them short or else, you're in trouble. So that's why they're all short, but you get enough taste of music. And I know most of the folks watching this right now have seen Babylon 5 before.
Archer
Probably
Collins.
love it.
Archer Collins wants to know if we continue with this.
Well,
next
Mike
week.
already recommended we do Soul Hunter next week. So
There you
it
go,
looks
Archer.
like we're going to do Soul Hunter next week.
Yay!
But we are going to do more than just yapping Babylon 5 because that episode brought up some deep stuff. Now, we don't get into any kind of religious content here, but we do love the speculation of, the soul and its journey. Oi, oi. Yes.
Roy.
And here we go. Swappers loves it too. And you can tell but the way he approaches the Force in his Star Wars writings.
Yes. Check out Star Wars Retold, folks.
Yeah, the link is in the description. I keep Swappers listed as a co-host, even though he's a part-time.
Part-time.
Well, I think he's pretty hardcore full-time.
Oh, yeah.
Even as he's writing, he's listening to the stream.
The only reason why, I told him he's welcome any week he wants to come. The only reason why I don't keep pushing him specifically for a commitment is because I feel bad. It's really late, for him. And so I feel bad. I feel like, I should wait a few weeks before I ask him again. I don't want to overdo it.
As long as you feel bad.
Well, because look at what I'm doing to you.
Yeah, Mike.
I got to get up at 3:30 in the morning.
Oh, goodness, Mike. Pobrecito, man.
Well, here's the council chambers, and they are talking about having a vote. I did switch to the last bit of slides here. So anyway, they're going to have a vote, and Jakar's there trying to manhandle them a bit, and he says this was our planet before the Centauri, took us over, and Delen's like, yeah, but it's been Centauri planet for over 100 years. Why spill blood over something that's been that way for a century, It's like, yeah, there's a point there in a way. It's just like, it's been removed by enough generations now. There we go. More jumping. Okay. In the cockpits, I don't know if you remember from the video footage before when I played that clip, you got the feeling of space when you're seeing cockpit views, like everything outside is kind of moving in that way of it being space, where every action or every motion is kind of going the direction it's going to go due to its own inertia. And there is no up or down, really. Your cockpit gives you some sense of that, but outside things are moving in such angles that it's not. You really get the sense and the queasiness of space.
Yeah, The Expanse really did this well. It's probably the only other show, but when they're going forward, the pilot's going to feel like they're laying down on their back and up is forward. But, this is real sci-fi, man. I just remember at the time, too, there was nothing like this. People used to complain about the lighting, but that's how that hard specular starlight would look in space. And when there's no light, everything in the shadows was really dark and people were like, you can't see anything. It's like, yeah, it's space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there are the Star Furies. That's the name of the fighters that the Earth Alliance has, and there we go. We're back in the council chambers. Sinclair is going off on an investigation of these raiders, and here they're about to take a vote on whether to do something, whether to take action. But Jakar has a video to play, and it's Malari's nephew saying, "We invited these people here because our government wouldn't give us whatever," and it's a hostage situation, basically. But Jakar is using that as a reason to say, you can't attack us. We were invited there by them. But then he has a strong point he makes to Malari after this, because Malari's like, this is a bunch of, bull's nuts. And Kosh is just watching like, yeah, you inferior life forms. You need to get in encounter suits like us and be more evolved. All we do is have every millennia major conflicts with the shadows, and we just send
Yeah, I
other
can't wait.
races to do our dirty work for us. That's the more enlightened way
Exactly.
to
I'm
go.
glad they told him to get out of our galaxy, man.
Sorry if I spoiled some things in the future, but anyway, those are. I mean, especially when we get to some of those deeper ones, man, that is deep because it's like some of those entities that do. Purport themselves as good and enlightened do have their lesser sheep, carrying out their orders for them. Ugh. Okay, too early.
No, you spend a lot of time really in not only admiring the Vorlons, but thinking of them as good guys and putting all your hope. And
Yes.
turns out they're assholes.
Yep. They're just, I mean, it's amazing how, how they, I don't know, how they turned the good guys into bad guys. And it's just, wow. Oh my gosh. Oh my
Yeah, it's
gosh.
about an ideology. But anyway,
Exactly. And man, so much can be learned if people truly pay attention.
they're deciding what to do, but the one point that Jakar made was that, hey, guess what? Your government's not doing anything. So now they're just like, all like thinking, I guess, I mean, Ivanova's coming in there like saying, okay, we're going to vote for this. But now she's thinking, looks like this isn't going to work out because it doesn't look good if the Centauri aren't going to stand up for themselves. Then why should we go do something, basically? And there's the council. So it's kind of like mini Star Trek. Star Trek, you see larger groups of, shall we say, exotic life forms, but this is their council. This is the non-voting members. They get to sit there and watch. What's that one in the back? Is that Jar Jar? Is that a Gungan?
Yeah, I
No.
know.
Oh, no, he has a cone head. Sorry for a minute there. What? Yeah, they're definitely more than just forehead aliens. They have some more interesting headgear. And there's a Star Fury close up. All right.
I want my own Star Fury.
Yeah. Well, they investigated the raiders, and there's the ship that was being raided, but you got to see some nice space action and so forth. I was thinking of getting some musical scene from there, but I decided, no, I'm going to save the next slot for one other thing that's awesome. Who do we have here? This is a different avatar than I've seen before. John
Codmore. I think you're right. I think, John, that the
We should
unaligned
point out-
worlds got only one vote
Yeah.
collectively.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Yes, you're right. Yes, they got one vote collectively. So they counted as one, government, so to speak. And then the rest of them end up, it was almost like the Security Council.
Yeah.
You had the Minbari, Earth, and Centauri, Narn, and then the Vorlons. So how many is that? Minbari, Earth, Centauri, Vorlons 5. Isn't that the same amount they have on the United Nations Security Council? Isn't it
I think
5?
they have 7, or they used to have 7. Like, but in 1980, which was the last time I gave a shit about it.
Oh yeah. Well, I did. Yeah, that was around the same time for me because I was in the United Nations club in high school.
Yep,
Yeah.
model you in.
Then
Me
I started to really learn. Okay, and so what do we have here? Oh, Malari has some hidden stuff in his apartment. Now, this scene, I got some of these because it was really good. He pulls something out of a lamp, and then he pulls something out of it looks like an aquarium. You can't really see, but he pulls these pieces together and starts assembling, which you later find to be something like a PPG, which is the type of firearms they used. But it looked like something that you could actually piece together, you know? And he did. He locks it into place and everything. So it's like pretty good prop work. And yeah, obviously he's pissed off, and you get the sense he's gonna try to murder Jakar. And so he heads out, but he bumps into Talia. You were wondering, what is this major, here's the star of the show. All she's trying to do is look for another one. She's looking for Ivanova the whole time. Does she have any other point? Yes, she does have a point. And, Malari bumps into her, and she gets an impression from him of what he's planning on doing. Because obviously, if you're about to go into someone's life, it's probably on your mind, and it's probably really strong. So the premise is these telepaths, such as Talia, who's a P5 in her rating, which is about halfway up. They can be commercial grade, but, they're taught not to read the thoughts of, non-telepaths unless there's a legal reason to, or if it's part of a business contract where they agree to do it, or in this case, sometimes surface thoughts can be overriding. And she told Garibaldi about it, and Garibaldi's here to help save Londo from making a big mistake. But he's got to express some tough love. And we do have some music coming up here. Yes, we do. And this is some really well interlaced music and scene. I am probably going to have to pause it a couple times because I wanted to play the whole sequence. Well, not the whole scene, but enough of a sequence here to capture the music. And so if you don't mind, I will have to pause a little bit in there just to make sure YouTube doesn't say I played too much. So he's reasoning with them, and all the time in the background you hear a little bit of drums. So we're not missing Stuart Copeland too much, a little bit of drums there. And layered synth sounds. But one great thing that Frank did is he could lay all these different synth sounds that wouldn't mask each other, or they wouldn't overwhelm you with a certain frequency. So even though they're static and kind of building like this combined texture there, they don't override one another. They just integrate, and they create a nice whole, like an orchestra that really knows how to self-mix in a way.
Yeah, I have a huge problem with the dialogue here, though. It would have been much better if they said something like, the power of one, the power of two, the power of many. No, seriously, man, the acting and the dialogue in this, we don't see stuff like this anymore. It's so good.
What was that line that Laverne and Shirley used to say at the beginning of their episodes, like just before the theme? It's like Schlemiel.
Oh, Schlemiel, Schlemazo, something, something incorporated. But those are, that's like a Brooklyn slang, right? For like man, that's a deep cut back. That brings me back.
Yeah, I don't know why that came to mind, but it did.
Yeah. Now I have images of Suzanne Summers and Christy and John Ritter and Three's Company for some reason. Like,
wait a minute,
the Wayback Machine has been activated.
I know they tied together Laverne and Shirley with. Didn't they tie them together with Happy Days? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Same cinematic universe. And Mork and Mindy too.
Oh, really?
Well, because Mork
Yeah.
was a spinoff from Happy Days. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because they had aliens in Happy Days.
Yep. If you look at it like you're exactly right.
And then they went off the deep end with Joni Loves Chachi.
I didn't go with them on that one.
No,
but that was
I didn't go with, yeah, they lost me at that.
Mork and Mindy, man. Yeah, I could see. All right, we need to get Fonzie in this episode. The ratings are going down.
Oh, it's Schlemiel Schlemazel Hassan Pfeffer Incorporated. So a Schlemiel is an unlucky bungler. Schlemazel is a consistently unlucky person. It's Yiddish. Okay, which
Yeah,
they kinda
that's what
use
it
for-
sounded like, especially
Yeah.
when you said that Hassan Pfeffer.
And
Holy shit.
and they used to not a lighthearted derogatory to don't be such a Schlemiel. And
Yeah, I've
Hassan
heard that
Pfeffer,
before. Yeah.
yeah, Hassan Pfeffer is a German stew.
Yeah.
So for what, like the stew doesn't seem to fit, but I guess they worked in a brewery. So
Yeah. I guess they were sniffing too many hops. Okay, here we go. Let's continue with Londo Malari. You see the connection there, folks. It really follows the tone of the dialogue, and then, of course, it just seamlessly flows into the scene change. Oh man. So anyway, the idea being there was just detailing more music and also some really good acting. It was a very heightened scene, and the future appointment that Malari's talking about was something that came earlier in the show, where they talked about he had a vision that one day he will die in a two-way stranglehold with someone else, and we're going to be killing each other. And of course, one can guess that might be Jakar. And the series, well, we're not supposed to give spoilers, right?
I think
Yeah.
the only people watching this stream right now are
Yeah,
all Babylon
I
5
know.
fans. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we
Yep.
may entice people to rewatch it, but
Yeah, but they probably already know.
Yeah, but people are going to watch the show on the replay, and they might not have seen it.
Yeah.
And you
True.
want to
want to leave them something. Well, I mean, just watch this first episode, and like the stuff we're talking about, everything gets addressed and grows.
Swappers. He says, I'm convinced Garibaldi is the result of a multiverse transporter accident between Commander Riker and Bruce Willis. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's
So
why I
he's-
like him. Oh.
So what's the name of the character he played in Fifth Element?
Corbin Dallas.
Yes, Corbin.
Hey, come here. Stop. No. Zzz.
Corbin.
And Chris Tucker should have gotten an Oscar for that. I swear. Like,
Oh yeah.
We'll get it on
man.
earworms.
What do they have, like an Oscar for silliest character ever, or
yeah, just most perfectly cast comic relief. The actor the Oscar goes to.
Oh
but,
yeah.
that role was written for Prince.
Really?
Yes, it was.
Oh.
He didn't want to do it. Imagine.
The movie did it get an Oscar?
Oh, I don't. That was back in those days. Nobody even would have bothered to look at a movie like that and thought Oscar.
Really?
They
Oh
just
my
didn't.
gosh.
They didn't get considered for that sort of thing. It just wasn't a.
I mean, the scene with the opera singer should have just gotten.
Oh, yes.
Gosh.
Yeah, Eric Serra is the composer for that film. We covered it several months back. Thank you, Scott, for the recommendation. And
Yeah,
thank
he
you,
did.
Swappers, for joining us. It was a good one.
He does most of the Luc Besson movies, and he is brilliant. I
Yeah.
really love his work.
Yeah. And after I rewatched that, I decided to check out that one that's more recent, Valerian and the City of a Thousand whatevers, and it was okay. I mean, visually stunning, but I don't know.
I didn't think the movie was nearly as bad as people made it out to be.
No, I don't
It
think it was
was
bad, but it was like, eh, there were some things that could have been better, and I think they had the ability to do better. Although I loved the alien planet, that the visuals were just amazing for that planet that got destroyed. That was great work there.
yeah, it
But
was a really fun watch. You know,
yeah, it was fun. It was fun. The main actor though, he seemed to want to put on the voice of oh uh oh with Matrix dude.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
the way he talked, he kind of like tried to do that voice. It seemed, and it was like bugging me though. But other than that, I mean, yeah, the story is fine, and yeah, and the action sequences were fine, and there was a lot of fun in it. Yeah, but there was some things that was like, oh, you could have been better. But anyway, enough of that. We're sidetracking, and then we are here. And what's happening here? Well, Sinclair found this guy. A Narn agent was with the Raiders. Basically, a Narn agent who was helping the Raiders out because they were arms traders, which he remembered from that conversation he had with Jakar. And so he's telling Jakar right now, look, we found your arms trader here supplying arms to the Raiders. And guess what else that doesn't look good? We found data crystals that implicates, what Londo is saying about your attack on their colony is true. So basically, you're caught red-handed. So he has two choices. Jakar can either tell his government we should call off this invasion and leave them alone, or the council is going to find out about what we did and how we lied and all that stuff. And that's one thing that governments don't like is when they do something devious, something hidden, something dishonest. If others are going to find out about it. Now, with evidence, then that does bother them. Now, if other people just don't believe them, they're fine with that. It's only when you have the evidence that we lied that we care.
Yeah.
So, but that's true. That's the way it is. So, yeah. So you just see Jakar's face at the end, and it's like, all right. So everything ends well. No one had to actually draw any blood in this conflict. Well, at least between these worlds. The initial attack, yes, but at this point, they don't need to go in and use force. The embarrassment is enough to have them pull back. So it's great. So there we go. And Garibaldi tells Sinclair he's about to go do his second favorite thing in the universe. And Sinclair says, I don't even want to know. And what's that? Oh, yeah, the election. Presidential election at Santiago. And that's important because we will find out later. But anyway,
Every detail in this is important. That's what just makes it so good.
and now look at this. She found her finally where Garibaldi said she would find her. And then, so she gets a chance to talk to her. And that's when we get, just after the main story ends, then we get the heavy beginning of another story that reaches across several seasons. And it's Ivanova's problems with telepaths, and that in this futuristic world, the Psi Corps is basically the agency that governs the telepaths, and for the safety of non-telepaths, they are trained and basically raised by the Corps, or if they are found to be telepathic and they're not already raised and living within the Corps' family, shall we speak, then they have three options: either go to jail, as Ivanova said, or they can join the Corps, in which case they leave their family and the core becomes mother, the core becomes father, or they can take the sleepers, which is medication that, well, let's just say it isn't exactly safe and effective. Oh, it's effective, but it's not intended to be safe.
Yeah.
But anyways, they talk about that, and so you learn Ivanova's backstory. That her mother was found to have telepathic talents, and this is what they did to her. She didn't want to leave her family, so she had to basically take that medication, like I think once a week, and it basically,
Destroyed her mind.
yep. And yeah, so Talia is like, So you get this, yeah. You said it was great casting. She's attractive, but also kind of cold, and the uniforms really do cry out not that open of a society that she's part of.
No.
And so, yeah, you get the first planting of a seed of the perspective of somebody that, you know, was a telepath that didn't grow up within the core, and what they had to do in order to stay with their families. And then this is Garibaldi's second favorite thing in the world. We find out it's watching cartoons, but I would say, I don't know if it's cartoons or specifically Daffy Duck.
Or duck, specifically Duck Dodgers with my Illudium Q36 space modulator.
So he's
And this is
watching it
the
with
only
Glenn.
person who agreed to watch the show with.
Well, yeah, it's a cultural exchange. She wants to learn something about Earth culture, and so she's trying to deal with popcorn first of all. Careful, it's going to get stuck in the teeth. And there we go. So he's eating and have a great time. She's like trying to figure it out, and she's like not getting it. But in any case, at least he has company.
Archer,
think-
I don't think we truly want to find out what his first favorite thing was.
No,
For
we
the-
don't know what his number one favorite thing in the universe is.
Yeah, we do. It's bourbon. And
Oh, that's
Oh,
yeah.
sad.
But he got over that. But he
well,
no, he
no,
could go back to it. But
yeah, well,
it never stops being your favorite, though.
true.
yeah. In season one, they hit that early, and then, of course, in the longer term, there's more of a challenge later. But
Very realistic.
I guess we can't. We're not going to spoil with any details. But at the end of the overall series, the overall series, um, Garibaldi's hard path does end up being pretty good after all. At least with a better ending than you might expect.
Yeah. Actually, quite a great. Yeah, man. He wins all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We were happy for him.
He earned it. He even
Yeah.
showed up on the Crusader show as like Mr. Important VIP.
Man, you know what? I gotta give that show a shot. I started watching it. I'm like, we're not gonna focus on the telepath thing, really?
Yeah, that's what we were hoping they would do afterwards, was to go into the telepath wars.
Yeah, there were 300 directions they could have taken after, but you know what? I hated it when I first saw it. I tried it again, but eventually I went back. I got past some of the things that bugged me, and I eventually loved it. And I lament its early canceling because it really started to become very interesting. I had to get past Gary Cole being the manager from Office Space, which was like, I'm gonna need you to come in on Saturday.
Yeah.
I need those TPS reports now. But actually, the show isn't nearly as bad as its reputation, and so it's definitely worth revisiting.
Yeah, I guess we'll check it
We
out
should
again.
give it a shot then, yeah. Because
After we finish our
I would love
rewatch
to
of the
get
whole
more
thing.
of the Babylon 5 world, and it just disappointed me immediately. It's like, wait, we left off with the big telepath problem. Why not continue with that? And just why go off and explore
Well,
another?
it wasn't totally new because the Drock were there at the end and stuff, so you would expect
Yeah,
them
but
possibly.
you would expect them ending with the telepath, the
Yeah.
big telepath problem that they would. I mean, there's fodder for two more series.
Hey, yeah,
That's
this was better than the Legend of the Rangers pilot that could have been turned into a
oh.
show. That
Oh.
was not good.
Yeah, that. Oof. Yeah, I mean that was like a, shall we say, a harbinger of what would become in just about every genre.
Mm.
All right. Well, anyway, here's the ISN reports. What's his name? Santiago wins.
Yay.
And there we go. Sinclair's just tired. He's going to go to bed, and then you hear a call from Ivanova as he goes to bed, basically saying, every week's going to be like this. And it was fast-paced, but not too fast. You know, some of the stuff, it's too fast-paced, and it's like, but, and it's like, no. It's not like real life. This was, like, still realistic, but really economical. It all fit and all had meaning, and yeah, that's it.
I can't
Great
believe
acting,
it took
great
me.
choreography.
Yeah, I can't believe it took me 5 episodes to get into the show. I should have been hooked from the first one, but in my defense, I wasn't really paying my full attention.
I don't know.
So
I
anyway.
think it was the second one that did it for me.
Yeah, Soul Hunter. Oh, well, that's one of the things that made.
I mean, I liked
really,
the first one, but yeah, the second and third kind of got me going.
Yeah, that's the
But we
thing
need
that
to
did it
back
for
up
me.
to the comments here for a minute.
Okay. Well,
I don't know
actually, just before you do that, I want to say that that's what made me fall in love with the show, was that the connection with spirituality in a way, and how they kind of went into some of those metaphysical directions. I really like that. But go ahead, Mike.
Well, I don't know if you saw Archer's comment. He'd like to join,
yeah.
and I am willing to sit in the chat for a week and let him join, because I think he'd probably have more to say than I would.
No, Mike, stay on. I mean, Archer can take my spot. I like just being in the chat.
Now all the co-hosts are fighting over who gets to not be on.
I would like to stay, but I would also like Archer to join us because he seems to be.
Yeah, well, and I'm the guy that has to go to bed at 3:30, so I can hop off easily if you guys ramble all night on this one.
Yeah, and Liza,
I would
you
like
do
to
a
be in
good
the
job
chat.
of
I did
sharing
like
the chats. And we
Do
need you
what?
to be able to share, Liza. We do need you to be able to share
Oh no,
the chats on screen.
I like interacting with the chat, but it's for me. I'm not a natural streamer. I much prefer just being in the chat than. So
Well-
Mike.
well, Mike said it
we have
first.
to fight over the empty spot here.
Well, you
Mike wins. He has to
Mike
get up
said
at
it
3 Yes, Mike
called
wins.
shotgun first.
He did.
So
He won.
Mike gets.
Well, I mean,
to
I like
have-
this episode. I'll have something to say in the chat, I'm sure, but I was just trying to be nice for Archer because I figured he'd have more to say.
Oh yes, no. Archer knows this, and
Okay.
he's read books and
So
he's like,
Archer,
I gotta,
how would you like to? Because the one thing I will need is an email address,
Yeah,
and I
you're
don't
being
want you
fought
to.
over.
Well, I don't want you to type it into the chat, but if you're not on X, if you're on X, I'm at the Wayfarer Project, but just drop the ECT because it's too long, because the username's just at the Wayfarer Proj. Also, my email address is lawrence@thewayfarerproject.com. It's also attached to the YouTube channel, so email me. And the way EV Mux works is I need your email address to set up the speaker account so I can put you in the scene. And that's basically it. And
Archer's been educating me about the books, which I
Yeah.
have to check out. I hope there are audiobooks. I love audiobooks.
it'd be great to have you
Yeah.
on. So
Yes, Archer.
Yeah, and you
Archer,
can also.
I think he can have more than 4. It's just a pain in the ass.
well, the thing is,
And it'd be kind of crowded on the screen.
the thing is, the way these slides fit in, or slides in general fit in, it's best to just have 4. Otherwise, you have to do it like a second column, or if you put 5 all the way on the side, you kind of, it just doesn't look great. I mean, we can do 5, But
Yeah, you end up getting a second row, right?
or well, either a second row, but you know, if I do it with the scene, the thing is, something is not going to look right, even though it's not perfect now. Something will be
Yeah, not feng
definitely not
shui.
right,
Yes.
not right. If I have 5 in and so forth. So
Oh wait, we got British spelling here. Oh,
no,
okay.
Archer is British.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I'm looking
Why
at the
else do
word.
you think he has this outrageous accent, you silly English pig
I'm
dog
looking at the
killer?
word honored. It's like, oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, you
Uh-huh.
can also tweet me if you forget all that, because I'm the exact same name at Istophobos on Twitter. So
Well, I mean, if you have Twitter, I don't know if he does or not, but if you do, you can reach us there.
I'm also istophobos at gmail.com. So
Yes. Email him so you can email me.
The longbow
Yeah,
did
pretty
not
much.
give it away, Archer. No. In interacting with the chat, I was thinking American accent in my head, so I'll have to readjust now.
Well, remember, he's a
There you go.
he's a connoisseur of history. He first joined us for the
For the
Monty
Monty Python. Oh,
Python Tournament of
yes.
Medieval Instruments.
Yes.
And you know, Americans don't like history except for us, you know, the
Oh.
oddballs.
Right.
The
Oh,
oddballs do, but the
Yeah.
average American
Well, you
doesn't.
all figure it out. I'm going to bed.
Okay,
All
all
right.
right.
that's
All
right.
right, we should
Yeah.
probably call it an evening, and
I'm
everybody.
definitely calling it an evening.
But yeah, Mike, we still want your valuable contributions from the chat. And
Oh yeah,
Um,
I will.
okay,
I will be in there. Good night, everyone.
all
And
right,
Archer, make me proud.
all right.
He's
Night,
like,
night.
does the longbow didn't give it away?
It did not give it away, no.
How long is your bow? Does your bow hang low? Does it wobble to and fro? Can you night and well, no. Okay, I think we're going to call it a night and say goodbye to everybody. We made it through the first episode, and now we're doing the second.
Awesome.
But Mike recommended it, so hey, we'll do it. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, Soul Hunter. I think at first it wasn't necessarily a big fave of mine, except some of the concepts they talk about, and I think it's really intriguing. So we'll do that.
Fascinating. Look, if
But you know what? At the beginning, are you looking for another way to get off?
if Swappers wants my spot next week, that's okay too. I mean, I'm happy enough to just chat and release.
Well,
chats.
folks, for the first several months of this stream, she used to type and show chats on screen, but not actually be on stage. So she can do that. We'd still have our chats showed up on screen, and she'd still be doing it. But instead of her lovely voice, you'd be hearing a second British voice. That's if Swappers is interested.
Yes.
But Swappers, let us know. It looks like Liza really wants to take a week off.
No,
Yeah, he's
it's
gonna
not
pretend
about.
like he went
I'll
to
be
bed.
here on the stream. It's just I think it'd be really cool to listen to all of you guys together. It'd be have a very dynamic group if you bring Swappers on too.
Well, I'd love to, but Swappers, if you need to think about it, let us know. Of course, we have a standing invitation for Scott Hovitt as well.
Yes, the British are coming.
Well, Scott's a Minnesotiano.
Yes.
We found out today. I thought he was a Michigander, but no, he's a Minnesotiano.
Yes, Scott. Scott, we don't know what you sound like. Do you have an accent? Do
He sounds
Minnesotianos
like-
have an accent?
Oh yeah. Are
Yes,
you kidding?
yeah,
Oh yeah, they have an accent. Oh,
Yeah.
Awesome.
What is it? What's the name of that
Him.
character? Rose from Golden Girls.
Oh, really?
Kind-
Oh.
Kind of think Fargo with a little more rolling vowels. Like oh
Ooh.
God, oh God.
Oh, how
God.
charming. We shall have like a menagerie of beautiful accents next episode if Scott also comes on. Yeah.
Well-
All right. Well, if since I'm not seeing anything from Swappers, I'll just DM him and see. But we'll see. If he says no, Beans, you're on there because we need to
Okay.
have. I'd like to have 4 since.
Okay. Oh, of course. I'm just saying it would be cool.
But if Swappers is willing to join us, that'd be great.
And Scott.
Yeah. Well, guess you have another possibility there. I don't think he's on X, or if he is, he hasn't connected up with me. But Scott, yep, you're welcome anytime you feel passionate about something you want to come on. You're welcome.
Yeah.
All righty. I think we're going to call this a conclusion. And yes, I guess that's about it. Any questions? If you have trouble reaching me, you can leave a comment and stuff, and we'll hook up any of you guys that would like to come on. All right. That's it for tonight, right?
Yeah.
Good night, everyone.
Yes, and now we're going to have someone of French descent playing the Star Speckled Banner.
Canadian.
French Canadian?
French Canadian.
Olivier Doucet playing the musical saw.